morning, Unity Church of Overland Park. It's a pleasure to be here today. Happy Mother's Day. I got up this morning singing. So good. Oh, I got up this morning singing. God is so good. You know, I got up this morning singing. God is so good. Yeah, my God is so good to me. I got up this morning singing. God is so good. Yeah, I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. You know, I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Yeah, my God is so good to me. Now, in my time of trouble, I'm saying, God is so good. You know that in my time of trouble, I'm singing. God is so good. You know, in my time of trouble, I'm singing. God is so good. Yeah, my God is so good to me. Oh, but in my time of triumph, I'm singing. God is so good. Yeah, in my time of triumph, I'm singing. God is so good. You know that in my time of triumph, I'm singing. God is so good. Yeah, my God is so good to me. You know that when the day is over, I'm singing. Oh, when the day is over, I'm singing. Oh yeah, when the day is over, I'm singing. Oh, my God is so good to me. Oh, every day and every way. Oh, every day and every way. Oh, when I take the time to praise the Spirit. Oh, my God is so good to me. Whoa, every day and every way. Yeah, every day and every way. Ooh, when I take the time to praise the Spirit. Yeah, my God is so good to me. You know it. I got up this morning singing. I can hear you. Come on now. I got up this morning singing. You know that I got up this morning singing. Yeah, my God is so, my God is so, my God is so good to me. Good morning, UCOP. If you would, please stand and join us for singing Love Is My Decision. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now. Thank you. If you would, please stay standing and join us with Sacred Love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy blessed peace, blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace, God. Blessed peace is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy, God. Deepest joy is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you
are. Good morning, Unity Church of Overland Park, and happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you here in the room, and those of you who have gathered online in our virtual balcony on Facebook and YouTube. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
You too, Mom.
Is your mom watching?
There's always hope.
There's always hope. We'll send it out.
She's in her own service, so we are connected. We are connected.
I'm Reverend Jackie Fernandez, and it is my great joy to be with you this morning and to serve as your senior minister.
And I'm Reverend Eileen Stulak. Always a pleasure to be with all of you right here in this room, as well as all of you out there in our online balconies of Facebook and YouTube. Whether you're there right now or somewhere in the future, we are connected.
We are connected, for in spirit the heart knows no distance. And how about it for Pancho Javier, Reverend Fred, and the UCOP bands? You know, there's a saying.
A saying? What does it say?
There's a saying. It's one of those sayings we're going to let go of during this series, but there's a saying, my get up and go
Has got up and gone?
has got up
Got
and
up and
went.
gone up and went, okay.
Whatever
Somebody-
variation has got up and went, right? Well, if you were feeling that way after hearing Pancho sing this morning, my God is so good. Come on, your get up and go got right back in it. Right? That's how I felt. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's center in prayer this morning as we turn within, joining hearts and minds, bringing forward to our attention, our awareness, the Divine Mother, always holding each and every one of us in a sacred nurturing, a sacred love. In and through us, this love becomes our decision to express in community and relationship, in the world. So we give thanks for this day in which we co-create with the Divine Mother. We rejoice and we are glad in the opportunities that exist today simply because we are alive. So we allow the get up and go to be exactly what it is today, without judgment. Instead, with curiosity, with joy and with willingness to be a vessel for spirit, to live and move and have its very being in and through each and every one of us. And we bless all mothers today in every expression, every form. We rejoice in the gift that is motherhood. We rejoice in the nurturing and experiences and the love and the life that we have received from our own mothers. Whether it's biological, adoptive, foster, or simply a commitment of the heart, we honor each one who has given us love and nurturing. And we send a special blessing out to those mothers today whose arms perhaps feel a little more empty, whose hearts are tender. And for the children of any age for whom this day brings forward feelings of grief or loss. All experiences are held in such a way that when we say Happy Mother's Day, there is room for every experience, every feeling, every thought. And we lift our hearts into the truth that each and every one is a beloved child of the Divine Mother, in whom all needs are met. And each and every one of us has the experience of the Divine Mother expressing through us, in which we are able to share unconditional love. It is in this honoring, in this gratitude, in this tenderness, in this spaciousness of nurturing love that we affirm one of our foundational truth statements in unity. There is only one presence and one power
in the universe
and in my life, God, the source of all good.
And so we continue in another moment or so of prayer to acknowledge, to honor, to hold in our hearts the prayer requests that have been received by this ministry. And the prayer requests that have come through have centered around healing, both physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Prayers that have been centered on comfort and peace as folks move through different challenges or circumstances in their lives. And also requests for strength, for comfort, for patience, in making decisions that might not be the easiest to make or to receive. And so in the presence of the love that has always filled this room and always present within us, that divine love, we just see it moving through each and every person, each and every experience, bringing forth the love, the comfort, the wisdom, the strength, the guidance, and so much more. Always, always leading each and every one of us to our highest and greatest good. And so for all the prayers that have been spoken aloud, those that we hold within the silence of our hearts, we release them now. We let them go, we let them fly freely and allow God to do its mighty work as only God is and does. And for that and so much more, we are so, so grateful. And so it is we pray. Amen.
Amen. And now we join hearts and minds with unity communities all around the world as we nurture the fulfillment of our vision statement together. A world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening.
The soles on these shoes are wearing thin from all of the miles that I have spent searching. The trail might be cold, but it's not quite frozen. Yes, I'll find my way, and I'll walk each day with my heart wide open. I've been worn down like an old river stone, caught up in the current, tumbled and thrown. My spirit is weak, but it's not quite broken. Let that river run. Yes, I'll take what comes with my heart wide open. I wanna take every breath like it's the last one that I'm gonna get. I want to release every regret, let go of the pain and forgive. Yes, I want to know what it's like to live with my heart wide open. I've held on too tight. I've let go too soon. I have built walls clear up to the moon, but now here I stand, unguarded and hoping that love calls again. Yeah, I'll jump right in with my heart wide open. I wanna take every breath like it's the last one that I'm gonna get. I want to release every breath, my heart wide open, wide
Thank you, Poncho, Reverend Fred, and the band. Hearts wide open. Are you feeling your heart wide open this morning? Maybe a little more so than when you arrived? Here we are in week 2 of this series, Radiant Rebellion by Karen Walrand. And I have to say, last week was part 1, Ignite, and you all ignited. Did you not? I heard from it after service. I heard from you during the week with lots of emails and text messages, just telling me what was alive for you, what this series brought up for you. I know many of you have purchased the book and are reading along or perhaps listening to the audio version of the book. I encourage you to do so. Karen Walrand, one, is a wonderful writer. She's a Black author. She has amazing perspective. And this book is powerful, and I think it's one that you will want to return to time and time again, and it's an easy read. And in the back of the book, she gives prompts for a journal. So if you're the kind that likes to journal and process through writing, or if you want to just sit and reflect with the questions that she offers, there's also that. So week 2, disrupt. What are we going to disrupt? Oh boy, you are still ignited. She says everything. We are going to disrupt everything. Wow. Be careful with that. And sometimes life demands, right? Just a complete do-over, right? Back to the drawing board. I want to talk a little bit today. You know, being Mother's Day, we often reflect on our inheritance, right? What we have inherited. I had a short conversation before service this morning about the gift of music and how it passes through genetically and sometimes skips people. As you know, I play a lot of instruments. Music, you know, is a language. One of my first language, the first time I felt like I actually said what I wanted to say was the very first time I played my saxophone. Without knowing a note or anything, I still felt like I had been heard. But I can't sing, as you know, because you know, it's a little bit we have when Envy's here. I let her sing and I lip sync. I live vicariously through that experience. But I have a great-grandmother who was a famous opera singer in Germany. And I feel like that should have dropped directly down the DNA strand to me. It did not. I would be a very dramatic opera singer, don't you think? I feel like I could pull that off. But when we think about inheritance, how often do we go to spiritual inheritance? You could probably name pretty quickly your religious trauma if you've inherited that. And is that not also reflected? If I were to ask you about your family of origin experience, might you first, most quickly and readily be able to name the trauma? What about the positive inheritance that we experience? Not just from family, not just from society, but spiritually. Where does your inheritance come from spiritually? As people in Unity, I'm really proud to say Charles and Myrtle Fillmore have offered so much for us to inherit. And I want to use 2 of their most famous quotes today. And so this is going to be very familiar, and that's okay, because I always think on a holiday, it's good to work with stuff we know, because we're already kind of distracted, and maybe our energy is a little loose around us, and so we want to bring some focus in. Myrtle Fillmore, I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit sickness. Now, that's a repeat from something she heard E.B. Weeks say. We don't have record that E.B. Weeks actually said that. So what I like to emphasize is what Myrtle Fillmore heard was, I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit sickness. And that one statement is the birthplace of the Unity movement, what she did with that statement. Here was a woman who had been raised to believe she was sickly, and would not live beyond 6 months from the time she heard that spoken. She had been raised to believe she was a sickly person, and that had seeped beyond her experience of her body and into her soul. And when she heard that, she began to speak to her body, to her cells. I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit sickness. Her siblings were sickly, her parents were sickly. That was the phrasing that she had grown up with. And she began to change that fundamentally. And now that has become our inheritance, that if we speak to the life, the divine intelligence in our cells, in our body, we can transform the outpicturing of health. Charles Fillmore, at the age of 93, just before he turned 94 and passed away, wrote these words down. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do that which ought to be done by me. He wrote it down at the age of 93. Did you hear me? I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do that which ought to be done by me. How about that for some spiritual inheritance? Claiming there's an assumption that there was first an awareness of that which ought to have been done by him. So we are invited into that very same process to become clear and aware of that which ought to be done by me, and then to spring forth with a mighty faith, in zeal, with enthusiasm, even if you're 93 years old. My get up and go got up and went. Right? So let's talk about age. That's, what this is about, aging at any age. If you were to gather a group of 27-year-olds, there would be variation in cognitive development, physical development, spiritual development, emotional development, but there would also be a lot of similarities. Now, if you were to amass a group of people at the age of 57, also some similarities, more differences because people age differently. So the older we get, the more variations we have. So if you were to amass a group of 97-year-olds, there would be even more differences expressed. And you can imagine, just think of a couple people you know at a certain age, and you can note the difference. We age differently, uniquely. And here's what statistics are showing. Those with a positive attitude about aging are walking faster, are having more wellness in their older age, and are living longer, not by a couple of years, by 7.5 years. Just by having a positive attitude about the aging process, we are able to live, on average, 7.5 years longer. Now, I remember when my grandmother was approaching 85 and 90, I remember her expressing some grief. And she would say to me, I don't know why I'm still here. My friends have died, and I don't know why I am still here. And that ignited in me a profound sadness and really a loss of words, because I wanted to honor that experience, and one I know nothing about. I don't know what it means to be of a certain age where your closest cousins, your closest friends are passing away. I don't know what it does to a person to outlive your loved ones and your social circles and your communities. I remember she would go volunteer at the age of 87 at the nursing home and talk about the young kids in their 60s and 70s. Perspective, right? The older we get, the older the young kids get, right? Say it again. They do. Yeah, they do. So the question is, again, what is our spiritual inheritance? Are we inheriting a spiritual idea that as we age, we must become old and decrepit? Well, I went to Unity Seminary. I taught at Unity Seminary. I continued to study, and I have nowhere found anything like that in the Unity teachings. So I could tell you that is not our spiritual inheritance in Unity. But what there is a lot of writing about is the power of life moving in and through us. The question you hear me ask a lot is, what is life giving to you, to us as a community? It was a question that was our guiding light as we began to transform this space and extend it to the greater community for events. What is life giving to you? That question is part of our spiritual inheritance. You are invited into curiosity about that question. What is life giving to you, and how does that change as you change? Can you stay in that question and adapt as the answer changes? The other thing that comes right behind that is liberation. Last week I talked about aging, like could we consider aging being an expansive experience rather than a restrictive experience of decline? Liberation is behind that, right? You notice it when you're younger because you get to do more things, you get more privileges, you have more abilities, you get more rights. And then at a certain point, we start to shift our thinking about that, and we start thinking about limitations and decline. So if we are to hold on to the idea, and I know many of you have this experience too, and you told me about it last week, that as you've aged, you've realized, even if accidentally, that you do experience more liberation. You care less about what other people think. You care less about the scripts that have been handed to you. You care less about what has been inherited culturally or within your family, the message of who you should be and how you should be that. So you do sort of maybe stumble into a liberation. Our invitation is to do so intentionally, to expect liberation, to expect expansion in our lives. So Karen Walren describes in one of these chapters for this section, that's chapters 3, 4, and 5, she talks about an experience where she was called to be a photojournalist, and she had to do a lot of hiking across rugged terrain. And I think she was in her early 50s when she did this. And she thought to herself, I should have done this 20 years ago. Why am I doing this now? Because she was struggling. And upon further reflection, she thought, well, 20 years ago, I scampered around all the time. 20 years ago, I walked a lot more. I was more active and did a lot more things. I moved more things. I carried more things. What I could have done, she thinks to herself, is prepared for this trip. Even if she had just put her backpack of her photography equipment, for her morning walks and carried that. Or if she had gone off trail instead of on her manicured trails, as she calls them. That perhaps she could have trained a little bit more so that it wasn't such an abrupt jolt to her system to suddenly one day go hiking and carrying a lot of equipment, heavy equipment. So she checked her assumption that she was unable to hike with ease because she was old. That was an assumption, and she checked it immediately. So our invitation here today is what are the messages that we tell ourselves that we can't do simply because we ain't the young chick we used to be? What comes to mind? Are you able to identify ways that you are judging yourself as you age? And again, this is for whatever age. So if you're sitting here in your 20s or 30s, I invite you into the question. Let the answers come to you. Can you identify, like we just talked about, my get up and go, got up and went. Are there other sayings that have kind of reverberated in your mind, messages that have been given to you that you should or should not do X, Y, or Z simply because of your age or at your age? Or do you say, well, at my age? Allow these messages to come forward, because until we can catch them, notice them, identify them, and check the assumption behind them, we will not make a change. We will not experience a change. We will not go into that positive thinking about aging that will allow us to live longer and healthier with more satisfying lives. What's coming to mind for you? Anyone willing to share? Right there. I got married when I was 78, he said. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. And that's a great, Karen talks about this in her book a lot, that if you say, oh, they're so young at heart about someone, we're not really talking about an age. Are we saying, oh, they seem 5, they seem 28? We're not talking about that. We're talking about an energy and a vibrancy that we assume is not present if you're old at heart, right? So we have to check what we actually mean and use the words we mean so that at any age, it's not about, well, I'm young or I'm not old. I am who I am, but I am vibrantly in love such that I would like to marry the person whom I love. There are so many assumptions about people beyond a certain age, being sexless, being miserable, being inactive. And boy, I had a couple of you run to me after service last week about, I am more active than ever. I'm exhausted in my retirement because I have so much time to do all the things. Can you allow yourself to fully step into the vibrancy of life that is already coursing through your very being? And I want to be really careful that I'm not inviting you to gaslight yourself. I'm not inviting you to pretend that you aren't experiencing any physical limitations that happen to the body as we age, or challenges. But the attitude we carry about that, well, I guess I'm getting old. I better slow down. Or, I'm aging. I'm coming into an expansive, vibrant stage of my life. And what would be really supportive to my body is if I slowed down a little bit, because I notice when I get tired or if I expend some energy, it takes me a little longer to recover. So instead of judging ourselves for that, lean into that nurturing mother love and nurture yourself and take a nap. Take a nap. Or plan some rest time after you're going to expend some energy. And just enjoy it without guilt. And that is subversive to our whole culture, right? Our whole capitalistic, patriarchal culture that wants you to produce. And if you stop producing, you are no longer valuable to society. Get rid of that. And before you get rid of it, you got to spend some time really reflecting how you have absorbed it so that you know where to pull it out of your system. Allow yourself to notice the messages that are truly not coming from you, from your heart, from your truth, from your knowing. Are you open to that? Yes. This is how we transform our lives. This is how we transform our experiences. And this is how we step in and express and allow the power of life to move through us in the way that it wants to. So our blessing today, right, is to receive that liberation. We're going to ask those questions again. What can I do today to feel healthy? What can I do today to feel connected? What can I do today to feel purposeful? I invited you to ask those questions last week and to make it a daily practice so that we're not trying to come up with some big something And then we spin our wheels because we're going to take days and weeks to think of what the big something is. But no, what can I do today to feel healthy? Is it take a nap? Is it to, like I invited you last week, to add something to your diet that is an expression of health? Is it to nurture a relationship? Is it to take some time in reflection? Is it to withdraw into a time of solitude, purposeful, intentional solitude? What can you do today that will help you feel more healthy? What about feeling more purposeful? If you have received a message, and everyone in this room qualifies because this message is out there, we have all received the message that as we age, we become less purposeful, less important to society, less valuable to society. So we're going to loosen up that message, and we're going to delete it collectively. But first, we have to recognize that it has been there and it has done its work in us. So what can you do today to reclaim your purpose if you have lost a sense of it? Just something small. Again, we don't want to get caught up in like the grandness of these ideas, but what can I do today to just feel purposeful? I did that on purpose, with purpose. And what can you do today? What is some small thing you can do today to feel more connected? You are here today among a spiritual community who share a spiritual inheritance. Do you feel connected in this room? And if you don't, what can you do to foster that connection? If you feel most connected here, but you have a feeling that when you leave today, that's going to be the end of your feeling connected, then ask yourself, what can you do later today that will help you continue to feel connected? And I know a lot of you watch the Sunday service throughout the week. Don't let that be your answer. That's cheating, okay? If you already got your connection from being here and I'm asking you to do something else and something more that helps you feel connected, you can watch the service, but not for this question. Do something else that helps you feel connected, because what happens is if you can ask the question and wonder with curiosity, what is it that I might do? You might discover something new that is life-giving to you. You make yourself available to new information. And isn't that also what we mean when we say someone is young at heart? They learn. They may be willing to take more risk, but statistically, people over the age of 50 will take more and bigger risks because they have more resources and more experience, more wisdom. So again, we're going to just keep checking our assumptions and tossing them to the side so that we can live most authentically and vibrantly as ourselves. And that is the blessing for today, to truly tune in to the presence of the Christ within you. And to know that that presence is always working for and in your liberation. That presence is always working for and in the power of life that is moving through you. So receive that gift and allow it to move through you in such a way that you fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do that which ought to be done by you, because you know that you are a child of God and therefore you do not inherit sickness. Be well and bless you.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free, as I continue walking in this mystery.
As we settle in for our time of meditation, I invite you to allow yourself to just relax right where you are. If you're joining us from the virtual balcony, this includes you wherever you are. Just allow yourself to be held. Relaxing the body, if it's comfortable for you, placing your feet flat on the floor, that you may root into Mother Earth. Perhaps lifting the base of your skull just slightly, so that you create a spaciousness in your body as you lift to the heavenly realms. Expansive liberation. If you haven't already, I invite you to gently close your eyes and open to the vast expanse of the universe, living, moving, and having its very being within you. Divine Mother. Oh, how she loves you. And we turn to the words of the Mother of Unity, Myrtle Fillmore, once again. You know, we always have an audience. In this temple body of ours, there are millions of listeners to our messages. The cells of the body are alive and listening to what we are speaking to them. Think of your body temple as being filled with the life, light, and pure substance of spirit. Bless your body and put out upon it strong words of life, purity, and health. The body responds to changes of mind. And when this is accompanied by truly wise living habits, the conformity to true ideas of life and power and love and substance and intelligence will renew it and make it every whit whole. Your first duty then is to bless your body. Get your thoughts right down into it and praise its wonderful work. I invite you to do this right now. If it's comfortable to place your hands on your legs, your thighs, your knees, perhaps over your heart, wrapping yourself in a gentle hug, or simply allowing your hands to hold each other. And thanking your body for its wonderful work, miraculous work. Our bodies right now are doing things in this moment that we can't explain. We can't replicate. We can't make. We can only be in this wonderful activity of life. So we receive the fullness of our spiritual inheritance. I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. My soul is not sickly. My soul is an expression of life in abundance. Vibrant life, liberated life, Though I may experience dis-ease or illness, it does not define my state of being. Let these words be your words. Though I may experience dis-ease or illness, that experience does not define my being. I am radiant rebellion. I am radiant life, here for expression, liberation, expansion of love and wisdom, strength, understanding, zeal, imagination. I am here to be a vessel for spirit to move through. And in this moving, I find purpose, connection, health, community. So we allow Divine Mother to birth in us a new thought, a new idea for how we might be an expression of divine life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God, for this spiritual inheritance. And so it is. Amen.
There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am kinder every moment, every day. I am more loving every moment, every day. I surrender every moment, every day.
I'd like to ask that as we move into this time of offering and blessing for today's service, that we focus on one statement that has been alive in this ministry for the last couple of years that Reverend Jackie introduced. And I'm so glad that she's verbally bringing it back again in this series, because I think it's a very powerful way to move through our individual processes. And that statement is to focus on that which is life-giving. Focus on that which is life-giving. And I bring it to this time of the service because so very often when I step up here to help guide this blessing, there's something in this ministry that is just an expression of what's been spoken to. And so when I think about the ways that you give of your time, that you give of your talents, as you give of your financial prosperity and abundance, you breathe that life into it when you give it to this ministry so generously. And we take that and we put it into the whole energy of the ministry and all that is ours to do, that we feel we ought to do together. And so if you would join with me now in just holding that place of love and life in your hearts as we bless our offering together. Divine love through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am joy-filled and grateful. And just one note that as the offering bag comes around, if you are new to the ministry and you've picked up one of these welcome cards as you arrived and you have filled it out, feel free to drop that in the offering bag, and our ushers will take care of getting that to the office later today.
Bring it on, everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will, once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new.
Hello, I'm Tony.
And I'm Ellis. And what a fit to what we just heard from you. Everything's new every day. Well, we have a few announcements for you. Join Marlene Feder, a clinical counselor and soul collage facilitator, on Sunday, May 17th from 11:45 to 1:30 p.m. in the studio for the Soul Collage Play Shop. Explore how collaged images can come together to reveal our internal world. No experience is required, and all class materials are provided. The fee for the class is $20 per person, and you can sign up through the link in our e-news or the Community Connections room.
Okay, and make sure to save the following dates for a few exciting summer events. In June and July, we will host our summer concert series at the Fillmore KC, which is here. Envy will perform, is it Envy or Envy? Envy will perform with Reverend Fred and James Albright on Thursday, June 18th, and Kelly Hunt will perform on Thursday, July 16th. Both concerts start at 7 p.m., and if you're still looking for a Mother's Day gift, you can purchase tickets today in the Community Connections room.
And our next Folks with Faith meeting is on Saturday, May 23rd at 10:30 a.m. Jerry Rapp, writer, director, producer, will discuss his new original musical, Gospel is a Drag. Then later that day at 4 p.m., join us at Hamburger Mary's for UCOP's Folks with Faith Ham Bingo, and it's a fundraiser. This event is free to attend, but reservations are strongly recommended and can be made directly with the venue through the link in our e-news.
And lastly, if you're interested in becoming a member of UCOP, the next few new member orientation will be offered by the ministerial team via Zoom on 2 Thursday evenings, June 16th and June 23rd from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. You'll meet others who are considering membership, learn about Unity history, and meet UCOP leaders who will share how you can get more involved with the ministry. You can sign up at the table in our Community Connections room or by using the link included in the e-news. ASL services are provided with confirmation on attendance. And be sure to visit our website and subscribe to our e-news for these and all activities taking place here at the ministry.
And now please join me in speaking our mission statement together. Unity Church of Overland Park transforms lives and empowers people to make a difference in the world.
Here we are. Let's bless our children, all of the young people in our lives, and all of our inner child. I didn't say inner children because that feels awkward, like maybe you have inner children. And maybe you do. Maybe you do. I just don't want to make any assumptions. So I will say it then. All of the children in our lives and all of our inner children. We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. We are so grateful for the presence of youth in us and all around us. And this month, we are going to celebrate our hospitality team. So if you serve on our hospitality team, please stand so we can show you our love and appreciation. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for all of the sweet treats, all of the veggie treats, all of the goodness, so we can go in and feel joy and health and community in the hospitality area and the cafe week after week. So please enjoy today. Next week, we'll be back for part 3 of Radiant Rebellion, Connect. So there's still time for you to get the book. And seriously, it is really an easy read. The chapters are short and digestible. And so if you don't have the book yet and you want to get it, it's not too late. All right, and then we have a couple of quick reminders that yoga will be today at 12 p.m. in the studio with Jeff Squarig, one of our prayer chaplains. And then I just want to extend again another happy Mother's Day to each of you. However you choose to celebrate, please behold the Divine Mother that is present in each and every one of you. As you are willing and able, please stand for a closing song. And if not, then simply raise your aura.
Reflect the divine, shine, be glorious. Reflect the divine, spirit of mine, spirit Let me be a vessel. Let me be a vessel. Let me be a vessel of love. Let me be a vessel. Let me be a vessel. Let me be a vessel of love. Let us all be vessels. Let us all continue to radiate the light that was bestowed upon us from our very own mothers. Look to your left, look to your right, behind or in front of you, and acknowledge the light within that person as they acknowledge the light within you. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light.
And from right where you are, please join me in the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. For there is a force of love moving through the universe that holds us fast and will never let us go. Bless you, bless you, bless you. I love you.